Welcome to Northwestern Fishing. So, the question is, while I'm fishing, does milk melt PVA? I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think it should do. There's only one way to find out, isn't there? So if it doesn't melt PVA, well, what I'm going to do then, I'm going to do PVA bag, the mix with some PVA in it. That's what I'm going to do. But I've not brought a tub with me. But what I have got, it's got 4 holes in it, mind. I'm going to give it a chat. Let's just try that first. Let's just see if we've got any. There's milk. Let's get a PVA. And I'm not going to use my best PVA. I'm going to use some cheap PVA that I've had for ages that I won't really use. Where's this one from? JRC. Some JRC PVA. Let's have a look at this. A little bit of milk. You know what, I'm not going to pour it straight out of the bottle because that could get messy, couldn't it? So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to get some milk on a spoon. I can't believe I've never tried this before. What do you reckon? Is this going to melt the PVA or is it going to sit in the bag? One will find out now. It's not melting it. Now, you couldn't put milk in your PVA stick mix. Is it melting it? Is it melting it? Is it melting it? No, it's not melting it. Might do eventually. Let's just give it a minute or two. Is it melting it? Yeah, it's starting to melt the PVA. Like the water content in the milk is slowly starting to melt it, but that gives me enough time to do something. I'm going to leave that there for 2 seconds, right? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to let's move some of this stuff here. The stick mix that I made. Do you know what? I'm gonna cover my hand over the holes there. This is a high protein stick mix. Yeah, crayfish protein, krill protein, CLO, biscuit meal. Right. So what I'm gonna do is because. Let's have a look at it, see if it's still melted yet. Yeah, it's melted, look. It's melted. It's melted. But it gave me enough time so that I can create the stick mix first and foremost. Let's put the lid back on the milk. I need to make the stick mix first, don't I? So what I'm going to do now is put a little bit of milk in there, like so. I'm going to let that soak in, first I'm just going to mix it all in into the stick mix. I've got a bit of milk in the stick mix. You with me now? Do you see what I'm doing? And that'll give me when that hits the water and melts out the PVA bag, and that took a couple of minutes before it came out of the PVA bag, the milk. So when it's in this, that should theoretically slow it down a little bit, but it then releases some of the milk protein into the water around this as well, and it should change the pH a little bit. Will it work? Will it won't work? Well, only time will tell, won't it? Comment below, tell me whether it'll work or it won't work. Yeah? Interesting. That's it there. That's going into a little stick mix now. Put a bit more of this in now. I'm just thickening it up a little bit. Just trying to think outside the box a little bit, because what we tend to be guilty of a lot of the time is copying each other. Not everybody copies each other, I know that. There's some people make their own baits and who do this all the time, and if you do this kind of thing all the time, just put a little comment below. That's looking quite good, that now. I'm happy with that. Now, don't put the milk straight into the mix, because the milk will go off. It's common sense really, and that's why they put milk powder and dried milk powder into some mixes, because it's not going to go off, is it? Right. I'm now going to bring a rod in and put this out on a rod. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, what rig am I going to be using on this? It's quite simple really. Rig tubing, as you can see, a lead clip, a little 2-ounce square bomb, a very short rig. Now that's a soft braid. We're only talking there about 2 inches, not much. Excuse me. And a blowback rig, which is basically an air rig, which has got a D-ring tied to it, so it slides up and down the hook, which is like so. There. That's going in the PVA bag. A little bit of dry mix in the bottom, not much, as you can see there. Pop the rig into the bag, making sure that everything's nice and neat inside. Now I've got to be really quick now because I need to get this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spoon, put that in there, squeeze it up, make sure there's no air in it, do another squeeze, tape it up, PVA tape it, lock it off. Got to be quick, so I've got milk protein in there, haven't I? Got milk, so I want to make sure the triggers stay in there. Now why have I put the flake at the bottom first? Well, that's going to go up into the water chain even, and try and bring the fish down, so they actually come across the cray meal, yeah, and CLO floating in the water. So trying to get the fish to come down to the PVA bag, the triggers. There we go. Let's trim the excess off. Some scissors. This one side done. Done. But you're left with them. Actually, it's not behaving too bad, that. It's a little PVA bag like that. It's not drum tight, it doesn't need to be, because I'm just trying to do this quickly. So there's a normal stick mix which didn't have milk in it. Take a little bit more time on preparation. Pull it up tight to the lead. Ready to go. Right, let's see if we can get this to work. That gave me enough time to get the rig out. I'm happy with that. So just putting the meal in there and the milk might be the result I'm looking for. It might bring that fish to the bank that, without trying these things, you never know. But gotta be quick though. You've gotta be quick. So let's see if we can catch a fish. That simple. Too bright that. I'm recording, can't tell. There we go. I still need a heater. I changed the lens, I've lost the lens cap, I don't know where it's gone, I'm going to get in trouble for that. So, right, this is the thing now. I've got to try and catch a fish. I've got to turn all my video equipment off. Relax a little. Oh. Do you know what? I'm definitely going to look into... It smells great actually. I'm going to look more into this kind of crayfish, crawfish, or whatever, however you want to pronounce it even, because it looks great. It really does look good. It does look good. I've got another discovery I found as well. But everything you buy has to be expensive. I've been using on this session already. Well, been using on this session, should I say. Some PVA tape. NGT stuff. It's really good quality stuff. It's really good quality stuff. You can see that, but I'm really happy with that. I'm going to be using that a lot this year. Don't cost the earth either. And the PVA bags seem to be a little bit big. I'm sure they do smaller versions. Good. It's good. You can tell I've been using it as well. Look, it's got some of the mix in it. So what we're going to be doing on these videos, I keep on saying this, I keep on trying to keep you informed. Not entirely sure as yet. I've got that worm thing I need to do. I've got quite a few projects I need to do. I'm going to look at more drones, I think. Not all the waters are allowed you to use drones. In fact, club and fishing on this as well don't allow drones. It's actually written in the rules now, where it wasn't this time last year. I'm going to be trying to make it more of a story, if that makes sense. So like, this is just a quick session with my son. It's not the best vlog in the world, it's just a vlog. It's just me going out fishing. And what am I actually using? What am I using? Now, somebody has already caught a fish, which is good. Which is really good. But that's over on the other side of the lake, so I need to catch one myself now. I've also been taking a look at these. A strange smell to them. I like them though. These are like pink washed out baits. 365. I've just rubbed off now the top of it, what was written on the top of it. These are a little bit different. I'm going to try and catch some fish on these as well. 365, I think it's called edge baits. When I first put these on in the water, they popped up, and I thought, the pop-ups, I don't mind that, the pop-ups, but no, actually, what actually happened was, they are actually wafters. These are wafters, these, by the way, but as they took on a little bit of water, they sat down and just levitated above the hook. They just wafted a little bit, which I was quite surprised. That was really good. I might do a little video on that so you can see what they actually do. Now, like Graham said on the video when we did the pop-ups, these aren't glass. They're not made out of glass. These look like a milk protein, because what they do is they're quite rough and ready, because that's the way milk protein is. That's the way it works out. You can see that. A milk protein wafter. See if we can catch one. I'll also show you what I've been catching as well for the winter. It's now spring, start of spring. See them? Ultra Trigger Pop-Ups, feeststimulants.com. Yep. Quite good then. I'm going to have to buy some more. It's actually giving these, to be honest. But I'm going to have to buy some, because there's a winter campaign, half used them. Caught a lot of fish in winter, so I'm wondering whether they're going to catch a lot of fish on in spring. Now, I like spring. Start of the year, everything's new, it's exciting, and it's just something that I really enjoy fishing in. It gets a little bit warmer, you see all the shoots start to pop up, you see the little ducklings will appear soon and be diving all over your baits and annoy the living daylights out of you. The grass, the leaves on the trees, it's an exciting time of the year for me. I enjoy spring fishing. It also means that I can change some of the rigs I've been using. You know, I can start. I'm a big fan of fishing bottom baits, right, with a little pop-up on there, and as a result of that, I like to put some particle down. I like to put some chop boilers. I'm a bait person. I like putting bait in, and this is where spring I like to put a little bit more bait in when they start to switch on. I don't actually think they've currently woken up properly in this lake yet. I say that, it's about, that's really an excuse. If you bait an area like I did for 2 or 3 months on the other lake I've been fishing, you'll get results. You'll catch the fish, know where to go to pick the food up. And what I tend to find is that a lot of people will blame the lake for their fishing. I'm not saying that they're bad fishermen, I'm just saying that they'll turn up and expect to catch and just use a PVA bag, a stringer, or that kind of thing without priming the lake. we're still kind of wintering, and that's my thoughts on that as well. So I'm guilty of being everybody else. I've come out first time on this lake, and I actually have to be utterly honest, I'm not entirely sure I will catch. I'll put some baits out. I'll explain that. How I've approached this is, everybody on the lake is casting about 100 yards. They're casting as far as they can put a 2 ounce lead out, right? Because that's the limit on this lake, is 2 ounces. Well, I've always done better on this lake when I fished at catapult range. Well, the beauty of that is that your baits in the night when you've got a top up are always going in the same spot, because it's as far as I can put the catapult, which is fixed. It's like a fixed length of cord, and physics dictates it'll only go so far. So I'm always fishing over my bait. So what I've done is I've actually decided to put about 60 baits out, a PVA bag with a mixture of the crayfish, the greenhouse mussel, and a few other bits and pieces in there. You know, stimulants really, not stimulants. Feed investigatory products for them to get to feed. It's real life. And I'm going to try and fish over that and see if I can catch. Now, I did, when I started fishing, use my traditional, what I like to use all this winter, was a couple of chod rigs. Well, I've now switched off the chod rigs onto a blowback rig. I'll put a link into that. I'll do a blowback rig as well at one of the videos. So now I've got to kind of wait and try and see if I catch a fish. What do you do? What do you do? So anyway, tell me in the comments section whether you're actually going to be fishing this spring, when you're going to get your rods out, which is the time you start fishing, because a lot of people don't fish throughout winter or the start of spring. They wait until it gets a bit warmer. The terminology we use for that is solar anglers. Let's see what happens, eh? Let's see if we catch another fish. Well, I've not caught one yet. Let's see if we can catch a fish. Morning. Oh, shattered. I'd like to say I had a really good night's sleep, but I didn't. This is real fishing. This is what most people do. A lot of people don't have a chance to pre-bait or go down to lakes and do what I did in the other videos in winter, and kind of rock up and get some fishing done. And that's exactly what I've done now. So it's the same situation if you went to linear fisheries, if you went to Wireside, anywhere, and you didn't have a chance to bait up or prep, you could possibly have the same kind of results. This is what real fishing is like. So I am on fish because I managed to drop in behind a guy called Stuart. He had no fish either. Hey Stuart, good to see you. Message me, Stuart. Put a comment in and identify yourself. I think what I'm going to do, honestly, is I'm going to have another little kip, try and catch up on some sleep, and do some random waffling of a rig or something. I don't know. I am tired. Looks okay, doesn't it? Looks alright. Got overcast, a bit cold. What's it, about 5 degrees? Wind's changed direction. Is it? No, the wind's not changed direction. Looking at the clouds. Time for sleep. Oh! Do you know what? I'm going to give it another 2 hours. That'll set me up to nearly 24 hours. It's been slow. I've not really had a knock. I'm still going to stick with the stick mix. Still going to start using that this year because it's a little bit different from using shot bought, and there's a little bit more thought put into it from my behalf, not from the people who make stick mixes from bait companies, to be perfectly honest, just my point of view, what I'm taking from it. But you kind of get the idea now. All the tackle I use, everything I use is all like the stuff that I choose to use, and there's been quite a few bait companies I've been using. It's not because I want a deal, it's because that's fishing. That's what real people do when they go fishing. They try different things. No. That's just life. Oh. It's now Saturday, and there's football on the television, and I love my football. So if you don't see a picture of a fish after these words now, take it the video's over, and it's just been a short session. At least I got out. The most important thing, I got out. It's so frustrating though when you see fish in front of you and you don't catch them. It's so frustrating, but hey ho, hey ho.